airlift of Nigerians to Saudi Arabia is progressing steadily after the official flag-off of the exercise in Abuja. Kaduna State is among the first set of states where pilgrims are being airlifted. Medview Airline is assigned to this axis for the operations. Preparatory to the takeoff, the pilgrims went through various checks and screening mounted by health, immigration, customs and NDLEA officials stationed at the Kaduna Hajj camp along Mando Road. Earlier in a farewell address, Governor Nasiru El-Rufai, who was represented by the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Aminu Abdullahi Shagali, urged the pilgrims to be good ambassadors of the country in Saudi Arabia.
The conduct of the state pilgrims last year was highly commendable. Therefore, let me use this occasion to call on our intending pilgrims to respect the rules and regulations of Saudi Arabia and be good ambassadors of Kaduna State and Nigeria in general.
The pilgrims also bared their minds.
Kuma gaskiya ba a ba mu wahala ba, mu ne alazai wanda muka zo na farko a wannan shekara, kuma ba mu samu matsala da komai ba tun daga local government namu har state government ba mu da matsala da su, mun ji daɗi.
Na ji daɗi da farin ciki baya misaltuwa da irin yadda aka ɗauke mu cikin lokaci ba matsala, muna zuwa aka tantance mu aka yi mana komai. Wannan abu mun ji daɗi da gwamna ya mana, Allah ya ɗaukaka shi ya fiffita shi da jami'ai da kuma ma'aikata gaba ɗaya. Allah ya ɗaukaka ku.
Meanwhile, Nigerian pilgrims are arriving in Medina in Saudi Arabia for the commencement of the Hajj rituals with visits to the Grand Mosque of the Prophet and other historical sites before leaving for Mecca. Pilgrims that have already arrived are from Sokoto, Kaduna, Zamfara, Gombe, Katsina and the Federal Capital Territory. They were received by NAHCON officials and accommodated in the 5-star hotels secured by the Commission at the Markazia area, which is less than a kilometer from the Grand Mosque of the Prophet. The pilgrims expressed delight with the arrangement made by NAHCON to receive them in Medina.
Shafatanin wajen da muke zanne, gaskiya sai dai mu ce mun gode ga gwamnatin da ta kawo mu wannan waje. Dan gaskiyar magana, in dai mutum zai tsakaninsa da Allah, an kawo waje dabda ko a anguwar kare. Iyakacin da zaka ce ka samu masallaci kusa da wajenka, dan daga inda zaka ta ku zuwa masallaci a takaice in kai minti 2.
Kuma an ba mu masakai masu kyau masu muhimmanci wannan muna cikin jin horin cikin jin daɗi. Na haka muna ta godiya wuraren gwamnatin ga wanda ya kawo mu ƙasa mai tsarki.
In another development, NAHCON coordinator in charge of Medina, Dr. Mohammed Bello Tambuwal, and other officials of the Commission have been visiting pilgrims in their hotels to see for themselves how they are coping with the new environment and the diet being served. Dr. Bello assured the pilgrims that they will be provided with good food, advising them not to buy food because there is enough to go round.
And you should mind your money, because most likely journey of Hajj has not started. After the days you spend here, you now move to Mecca, you spend more days before the 8th of Dhul-Hijjah. So averagely now we have almost about a month or so. So if you start to eat from your money when food is provided here, you just be wasting it. So may Allah make it easy for us.
The pilgrims are fed twice daily. He also advised pilgrims to use registered bureau the change to convert their money to Saudi Riyal to avoid being defrauded. In the meantime, medical centers are coming on stream to attend to the health needs of the pilgrims. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, has inaugurated the Command and Control Committee to coordinate and monitor the Hajj airlift of Nigerian pilgrims to and from Saudi Arabia. Speaking at the ceremony, NAHCON Chairman Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar urged members of the committee to live up to expectations by being diligent in the discharge of their duties.
So it's your information that the Commission rely upon to finally determines the issue of payment. So it's a very important committee, and you work 24 hours, so you have to operate shift. Some will be in the morning, some will be in the afternoon. And in this job, there is no big man, there is no big woman. Everybody has to work like a clerk, you have to work like. But I'm sure by the end of the day, it's a job that you will love and you will enjoy doing.
Spokesman of the committee, who is also the chairman of the Command and Control Committee, Goni Sanda, spoke on the level of their preparedness and also sought the cooperation of other stakeholders.
Issues we observed, we had communicated appropriately to ensure that they are fixed before the commencement of the airlift. We had also developed templates to monitor the airline operators.
Similarly, the 2017 Hajj Feeding Committee has been inaugurated by the Commission. Inaugurating the committee, NAHCON Chairman Barrister Abdullah Mukhtar challenged members to take their assignment seriously because feeding, he said, is very central to the well-being of the pilgrims.
This committee is very important to the Commission because feeding is an integral part of Hajj package paid by the pilgrims. Just like the issue of air ticket, accommodation, feeding is incorporated as a requirement for visa processing.
Airlifting of Nigerian pilgrims to Saudi Arabia for the 2017 Hajj is underway at the different departure centers across the country. The first flight was inaugurated in Abuja with more than 400 pilgrims airlifted from the Federal Capital Territory. This was on Sunday, the 30th of July 2017. Preparatory to the airlift, pilgrims went through screening sessions at the airport involving different agencies. These include security, customs, drugs, and immigration checks, as well as health and other documentations. FCT Minister Alhaji Muhammad Bello, who represented the acting president Yemi Osibajo, inaugurated the first flight for 2017 Hajj during a ceremony at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, which was graced by dignitaries drawn from all walks of life. The acting president appreciated the efforts the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria and other stakeholders in Hajj management and urged them not to relent so as to make the 2017 Hajj a huge success.
As we know, the first airlift is usually the beginning of intense work and hard work. You can never really say it is done until all pilgrims go to Saudi Arabia, have an acceptable Hajj, and come back safely.
The acting president used the opportunity to call on Nigerian pilgrims to be good ambassadors while in Saudi Arabia.
The message of the government to the pilgrims is that you represent the largest single group of Nigerians that are leaving the shores of Nigeria to a foreign land within a very restricted short period of time. So each and every one of you is an ambassador of this beautiful country. I appeal to you to conduct yourself with the fear of Allah, to conduct yourself as very good ambassadors of this Nigeria, and I pray that when you go there, you will have a very peaceful, successful, and rewarding Hajj.
The Sultan of Sokoto and President General, Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Alhaji Saad Abubakar, who was represented by the Emir of Bauchi, Alhaji Adamu Rilwanu, expressed confidence in how the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria manages Hajj affairs.
That we have arrived at this stage is a special grace of the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has blessed us with a diligent and hardworking team at the National Nigerian Hajj Commission under the chairmanship of Alhaji Abdullah Mukhtar Muhammad, who have been working around the clock and all year round in order to make the operation easier and more orderly for us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward them.
Sultan Abubakar advised the pilgrims to shun negative tendencies and practices.
Stick to what you have been taught by your teachers and seek guidance only from the guides that have been appointed to you. This way will avoid getting yourself confused. From this moment and until you return, you are on pilgrimage. Your prayers are of great value. Remember to offer prayers for yourself, your families, your communities, your state, and your country. Remember also to pray for our leaders at all levels and for the quick recovery of our President Muhammadu Buhari.
NAHCON chairman Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar confirmed in his speech that nearly 80,000 Nigerians are expected to perform the 2017 Hajj.
As we speak, Your Excellency, it will interest you to note that we are expecting over 60,000 Nigerian pilgrims that will perform the Hajj under the state government's quota. And about 19,000 are expected also to perform the Hajj under the private tour operators. This number is unprecedented in view of the global economic recession, which is not only affecting Nigeria, but many other countries that will be performing the Hajj.
Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar said the Commission has made all the necessary arrangements to ensure that pilgrims have value for their money.
I would like to seize this opportunity to assure our pilgrims that the Commission has put in place all the necessary machineries to attend to your comfort and welfare. And to achieve this, we have increased our sensitization among our officials on the need for us to volunteer not to perform Hajj during the core Hajj rites in order to attend to your needs. Hopefully this year, about 25% of the total workforce of Nigerian officials will sacrifice their Hajj for your comfort and to attend to your need as at when you need such assistance from us. We are sacrificing our Hajj for your comfort, not for any material gain, but to make sure that we are in tune with the change agenda of this government, that service delivery and service to humanity to any public officer is something that cannot be negotiated and cannot be compromised.
He also appreciated all stakeholders, especially the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Saudi Embassy, for their support. Other dignitaries at the event also spoke, commending efforts of the Commission as well as charging pilgrims to be good ambassadors.
You are about to embark on the greatest journeys of your lives to perform one of the most important rites of Islam. For some of you, this will be your first Hajj. I pray it is a memorable one and that you take full advantage of the opportunity of a lifetime.
Please do not carry anything that is prohibited into that land. I know this has been said many times. All I'm saying has been said many times, but it's very, very important that I emphasize on it. The most popular among them is this cola. They consider it in Saudi Arabia as drug. Please do not carry it. Because when you carry it, you go there, you know the consequence is death. Please do not embarrass yourself, the nation, and cause yourself unnecessary difficulty by carrying something and indulging in something that will not pay or give you any reward from doing it.
I want you to go on pilgrimage as an honorable Nigerian and demonstrate good character and pray for the future of Nigeria. We are in a time when there are a lot of arguments going on in the country, and I believe that only prayers will bring us to a proper landing point. Our prayer, we the Christian Pilgrim Commission have been working very closely with the Hajj Commission. We are friends, we are partners, we are colleagues, we share ideas, we hold meetings, we discuss, we exchange many things, and we are progressing together. We believe that Christians and Muslims have a future together in this country, and that we can show the world that we can live together and work together and promote the values that we want to build for our great country and let the world learn from it.
The pilgrims on their part expressed satisfaction with the arrangements made by NAHCON and the FCT Muslim pilgrims bore.
They are doing a very good job. It's not easy to handle a large volume of applications and pilgrims traveling. So far so good. I think they are doing a good job, and I hope they will continue even when we get to Saudi Arabia.
I'm very happy with the preparations of NAHCON and Pilgrims Board. They've done a wonderful job.
In Saudi Arabia, the national reception team, led by Dr. Mohammed Bello Tambuwal, and officials from Nigerian Embassy, welcomed the first batch of pilgrims on arrival in Medina. As usual, buses had been arranged to transport the pilgrims to their various hotels. Hajj Talk this week focuses on Umrah rites, that is, the lesser Hajj. Muhammad Kabir Adam, the Deputy Chief Imam of the National Mosque, Abuja, in discussing the rites of Umrah, starts with a quotation.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَتَزَوَّدُوا, make preparation. فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ الزَّادِ التَّقْوَى. Among the preparation, the best of preparation is to become piety. Somebody to become pious. Somebody to have in his mind fearness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the best. Which means the act of Umrah must be 100% for Allah's sake.
Having established the required taqwa for the sake of Allah, the intending pilgrim has to declare his intention for Umrah.
Umrah has 3 pillars. That is Ihram, Tawaf and Sa'i. So Ihram, that is taking the intention. That is Ihram, taking the intention. And for the intending pilgrims to take the intention of Umrah, he has to be in one of the 5 places.
One of the 5 places is Dhul Hulayfa. As for the pilgrim going to Mecca from Medina, Imam Adam described him as a lucky pilgrim.
He is lucky to start his Umrah journey from a particular point where Prophet ﷺ started his own. That is Dhul Hulayfa.
At Dhul Hulayfa, Muhammad Kabir Adam said the intending pilgrim is expected to observe some activities.
An intending pilgrim is expected to enter the bathroom, take shower with the intention of going for the ihram. That is on his preparation of taking the intention for Umrah.
After the pilgrim has taken his bath and performed ablution, he is expected to perform a 2-rakat prayer.
So after that, they now enter the mosque of Miqat. Observe 2 raka'ah nafila, if it is not the time of obligatory prayers. If it is the time of obligatory prayers, then they can use it, that obligatory prayers at the place of prayer for the intention or for the taking the intention.
For the pilgrim performing tamattu, immediately he arrives the haram, is to perform tawaf. The rite starts with tawaf al-qudum, the circumambulation of the Kaaba for the Umrah. However, before the tawaf, Imam Muhammad Kabir Adam advised the pilgrim.
Ideally, for the pilgrims who arrived Mecca, ideally he is supposed to go to his accommodation, put all his belongings there, then proceed to Kaaba. It's better for him than to go to Kaaba. He has his load, he doesn't even know where to put them. And it is not allowed for anybody to enter the Kaaba with load. Yes, you cannot enter there. Even women are not allowed to enter with their bags.
While entering the Kaaba, pilgrims are expected to make supplications for entering a mosque. When the pilgrim comes face to face with the Kaaba, a dua is prescribed.
For example, Allahumma zid hadha al-bayta ta'ziman wa tashrifan wa mahabatan wa birra. وعظم كل من زاره حاجا أو معتمرا تشريفا وتعظيما وبرا. Just as an example, there are many types of good supplication which I can refer my brothers and sisters to the book of, to the Hajj or Hajj and Umrah manual, especially the one provided by the Nigerian Hajj Mission.
After this application, the next step for the pilgrim is the Tawaf al-Qudum.
The starting point for the Tawaf or the circumambulation is on the Hajar al-Aswad. That is the name of the place. It is in the Kaaba. One particular place, it is one angle and a corner before the door of the Kaaba. We call it Hajar al-Aswad. So that Hajar al-Aswad, some call it black stone, but I prefer Hajar al-Aswad. So from that Hajar al-Aswad, that is the starting point of Tawaf. Somebody is expected to go and kiss that Hajar al-Aswad if possible. If situation permits, he is expected to go and kiss the Hajar al-Aswad. If not possible, let him put his hand and touch it. If not possible also, let him just point it with his hand like this. Then he say, Bismillahi Allahu Akbar. In his mind, he intend to do Tawaf.
For the performance of Umrah, the male pilgrim is expected to wear his ihram with his right shoulder exposed.
For somebody who is there to perform Umrah, he is expected to jog for the first, second and third round of the circumambulation. Then from there, he will now continue with his normal walking. In the process of walking or jogging or going around the Kaaba, he is expected also to offer some supplication. Though there were no specific supplication for that, but he is expected to recite approved supplications by Islam. Of course, there are many. If he cannot find any, let him continue saying La ilaha illallah, for example, or even Talbiyah, that is Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik.
When the Tawaf has been completed, the pilgrim performing the Umrah is to pray 2 rak'at Nawafil.
It is recommended for somebody to pray behind the Maqam Ibrahim. If not so, every part of the Kaaba is allowed. Every part of the Kaaba is allowed. So after observing the 2 rak'at nafila, then somebody may now move, get to nearest Zamzam. Let him drink it. It is part of the Sunnah of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Let him drink it. If possible, let him take some part of it, put it on his face, on his shoulder or arm, whatever. That one is accepted in Islam.
The pilgrim, having performed the Tawaf al-Qudum, prayed the 2 recommended nafila and has drunk from the Zamzam water, is now to go for sa'i. That is the walk between Safa and Marwa.
Our first question on the feedback segment came via SMS. It is from Aisha Yusuf. She wants to know the specified days of Hajj.
There are 6 days in which the Hajj rites are performed. Yom Tarwiyah, that's the 8th day of the Hijjah. Yom Arafah, that's the 9th day. Yom Nahar, that's the 10th day. Yom Al-Qarr, that's the 11th day. Yom An-Nafar Al-Awwal, that's the 12th day. Yom An-Nafar Al-Thani. These 6 days, they have their names. And these are the real days of Hajj.
The next question is from Khair from Adamawa. Her question reads, who are the stakeholders that work with NAHCON for a successful Hajj operation?
At the national level, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria have the duty to relate to the Central Bank of Nigeria for the transfer of funds paid by the pilgrims in Naira to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for payment of service providers. The Commission also relates to the Nigerian Immigration Service to ensure provision of official e-passport to every intended pilgrims across Nigeria. The Commission also, interact with the Federal Ministry of Finance to request for whatever funds that are needed to fund the official, to provide consular service, medical services, and other needs that is the main duty of the federal government to provide in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So also the Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, the Jama'at Nasrul Islam, that are the two major umbrella bodies representing the interests of the Muslim Ummah. So by the time we leave the shores of Nigeria, we are all under one umbrella, and that is the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria. And the Saudi government, on any matter of Hajj, refer to National Hajj Commission of Nigeria on behalf of all Nigerian pilgrims.
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا